Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to Inside Line Racing. This is ILRGT, and we are at round number 3 today for the Super Formula League. We are at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Most people are familiar with it in the F1 leagues, but the Super Formula is going to play host to that today. So I am Jess, and I'm in the commentary box as per usual. Now, our Ted, Evil Dragon, he is having a big roast at the moment, so he can't join me right now at the moment, but he's going to join at some point during the qualifying session or the race or whenever he's finished basically. So don't worry, you will have him, he's just not here yet. But so I'm going to be flying solo for a while until he gets here, if that's alright with you. So Red Bull Ring hosted many a Grand Prix, both in F1 and in Super Formula. It's one of my favourites to commentate on, and it is really fast. And I think one of the shortest tracks on the calendar, not gonna lie. So it should be a fun one. So how many drivers have we got today? We've got Scott, who is currently on provisional pole with a 113.3. And we've got Renegade in P2, then Shapalili in P3, Ricky Morris 4th, Archie 5th, Banana Time 6th, Janul 7th, Ollie 8th, Carl 9th, who's almost gone, and I haven't seen him much in this season, but he is back. He's running the LK livery, which looks pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie. 10th we got Metzer, 11th we got Pete, Roy Racer 13th, and I'm missing someone else, but I don't know. Oh, we got Renegade as well, who just put himself to P2. We got Shapalili as well. So some of these guys were racing in Le Mans a few days ago, which me and Evil Dragon commentated on, which was, to be honest, really fun to do. We both had a good time, we both had a little bit of a laugh, and I'm sure, hopefully the drivers had a little bit of a laugh as well. So if you want to check that out, please feel free, go and check it out on the ILR channel. Obviously you can check it after the stream, because obviously we still got lovely ILR GT action to enjoy. What about that, eh? It's pretty much my favourite part of racing, you know, it's cool. So, let us know your favourites in the chat. I will be checking the chat every so often as well. And my voice is dying at the start of the stream, typical, but hopefully it won't, but hey. So, it is a very flowy type of circuit. It has, I don't know how many turns it has. I think it has around about 9 or 10. Usually turn 2 can sometimes be mistaken for turn 3 at times, but I like to call that kink turn 3, because, you know, that's what I like to call it. And if you don't like that, then tough, really, and that's what I like to call it. So yeah, we've got 1 minute left to go before the race is begin then, and can anyone beat Scott's time? And someone has beaten Scott's time, a 1:13.0, which is pretty good from the Motorsport type livery. He's on the supers at the moment, on the red tyres, so you can't afford to go on those tyres on this Grand Prix, because it's 35 laps of constant action here. And you never know what they could do here. It is tough, to be honest, around here to get a perfect lap here, because since it's only short laps, you only get small chances really to make a first impression and get your best possible lapping, really. So, if someone has died, I don't know what turn it is, but it's Renegade. All I can see is Flowers, but he's gone anyway. He's gone into Narnia. So, and we've got Shapalili, who's in 5th at the moment. He's about 52 thousandths behind Renegade, so he could possibly get a lap in now. Now, these Super Formula cars are a lot slower than, obviously, the Formula 1 cars. That's why you're seeing slower lap times. And the final is about to begin here on ILRGT2. And we are about to get your qualifying results up. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. There's some lovely music to go with it as well. So Ricky Morris on pole, then we got Scott, then Archie, then Renegade, then Shafalili, Bananas Time, Junal, MK Bourne, Ollie, and everyone else. So we're about to get underway. I hope you're all hyped as I am. The drivers are about to rev. It's time to wind them up. And we are about to get underway, and it's lights out and away we go. Ricky Morris has a really good start off the line. Going into turn one, Scott is trying his best, but he has no answer. Archie almost got the move done of Scott, and he didn't. He's trying to get the move past Ricky Morris as well. Going into the kink I'm talking about, going into turn three. Let's see what happens here. Let's go on board with Archie as he goes through this tight little hairpin. Remember, they have fuel in these Super Formula cars as well. Let's see how everyone else is doing below the rest of the field. Bananas Time, he's in 9th place. He's under pressure from potential Ollie as well. Ollie tried to dive around the inside, but it couldn't quite work for Ollie. So that's Ollie's position. He stays where he is. Oh no, Bananas Time has gone into the gravel. That is not where you want to go. Pete has dropped down into last place at the moment. Chapelle's had a horrible start. He's in 11th, but he's chasing down Racer in P10. You could have another look here as he clips the curb a little bit. As it is free flowing, like I said, so a lot of potential to make moves. Meanwhile, on lap 2 now. Chapelle's got a dive for moving to turn 1 round the outside. Can he quite do it? Yes, he can. But Racer is not giving up here. He's got the move back. He's got the switch back from Chapelle then. So Speed Racer back into 10th. But is it? Chapelle going to have a look once again into turn 3. Can he do it? Yes, he can, maybe. Racer in the speed car. Whereas Chapelle is in his nice little monster car, his Eco Boost car. Now let's jump to the battle for the front, because Scott's round about 1.6 seconds behind Rinky, but he's got Archie ahead behind him as well that's really catching up. So just a quick reminder, Eva will join me in a second. He's finishing off his dinner. That's why you got me for a little while. As Archie's still on the back of Scott then. Let's see what he could challenge going up the hill. The Red Bull Mobile. Obviously, there's no Red Bull cars here today, so there's not really a home Grand Prix unless they're Australian. But technically, you can count it as Ricky Morris's home Grand Prix because he's Dutch. Because it's Max Verstappen as well. So, you know, technically you can count it. Scott's gained some time on Rinky just about, but not quite. Renegade has got Cole chasing up for him as well for P4. So potential podium. We've got a massive train forming for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. MK Bourne in the ILRT livery. He's chasing down Carl as well. So it's going to be tight. Carl's going to be on the defensive and the attack as well. I think Carl has really got to think more about going on the attack, really. So, on the defence even, as he charges his way through the field. He's dropped a bit from Renegade though, so it's going to be tight. So, let's jump back onto TV view. As going up the hill once again. Let's see what MK Bourne can do. He's also got Meta behind as well in the other speed car, so he's got a challenge to go ahead of him as well. Let's see where Meta is compared to what speed he's got. He's nearly on the gearbox actually, and going on board with him, actually you can really feel the true downforce as he's going to go around the inside. As almost got the switch back there, but couldn't quite do it. MK Bourne stayed ahead. Metzer looking around the inside, perhaps. Maybe not. Going through to turn 7 and approaching turn 8 too. So I think MK Bourne is going to try and worry about Carl now. He doesn't have Metzer to worry about now, so he is going to be under less pressure, I must say. Oh, both of them took a kind of an indie line there. I don't know what happened there. That's going to allow Janul to catch up to Metzer going into turn 1 and potential run into turn 3 as well. As Scott takes the lead of this Grand Prix, he just got past Rinky. So Rinky must have had a little bit of a mistake there. I didn't quite see what happened with Rinky as Scott is taking a commanding lead. So Rinky has got to forget about his negative mindset and concentrate mainly about what's happening for the rest of the race. Oh, Rinky's gone wide again. What does that leave Archie then? Archie gets past him. And I think so does Renegade. This is going to be 3 wide going into the downhill section. This is where Renegade can really capitalise here. Going into turn 8 and 9. Rinky, I think, just gets the place back from Archie. Oh, Rinky's gone wide again. His tyres are having none of it today. It's probably getting hotter than usual, so that pushes Archie into second place. Yes, that is definitely second place for Archie now. Good move from Archie. MK Bourne in 5th from Metzer. Carl has dropped it. So a lot of people are starting to struggle. Will we see quite a few people going into the pits? Almost a bit of touching. Janul's going to take the inside line from MK Bourne. No, Carl then. As Carl has almost been forced off the circuit, but he's got Ollie challenging as well. Carl is almost getting a position back. He's racing with Metzer now. Going into turn 4 and then approaching turn 5. Carl, the number 22 car. He has to go for this move now in the Honda car. Is he going to challenge for it? No, he can't. Metzer is pulling away at the moment. So that is good. Oh, Janul's gone wide again. So that's going to allow Ollie to capitalise on this. Ollie's going side by side with Janul then. All touching again. Ollie goes past him. Actually, no, he doesn't. He goes wide as well. Take it in the line. If there was an Indy in Austria, I don't think there usually is, but I like to call it that because, you know, I'm a cool person and I usually can't think of what to call it. And usually they go off the track. I usually like to call it the Indy line, so I hope you're okay with that, as Rinky is struggling with his tyres. He's got Renegade that just passed him, and also MK Bourne potentially could line up for a move as well. So he's got to think his head straight, really, to be honest, because otherwise he could lose another position. But luckily he's pulling away, so that is good to see. Archie staying in P2, which is what he wants, but Scott is pulling out a commanding lead. It's 6.5 seconds now. So that is what he wants at this early stage. Now, Rinky Morris. Oh, Rinky Morris has got a penalty due to that corner cut in that final corner. Let's see if Rinky Morris can challenge for a move this time on Renegade. Renegade going wide. That will allow Rinky Morris to catch up, surely. The hills are alive in Austria today, and the sound of Super Formula cars as Rinky tries to have another look, maybe, but doesn't quite do it. He's He's got to really get the momentum going if he wants to gain more positions. Side by side once again, and he takes it. Renegade was almost going to look for that switchback, but unfortunately that was just not going to work for him, which is a bit of a shame right now. And get your opinions in the chat about how you think the race is going so far. We're on lap 8 out of 35, so 8 laps of the Austria circuit has already been and gone, and Renegade is about to start around, lap 9. We've got our first pitter, that's Scott. He's going on the supers, I believe, so he will have to go again. So he goes in, he goes out, and he comes in 11th for now, but nobody else has pitted yet, so that's still Archie in the lead. I think Rinky is just down enough to hold on to Renegade, so he needs to keep that 1.6 second gap. He doesn't need to let out slide. MK Born in 4th, which is good for him. Where is Metzer? Metzer's way behind MK Born at the moment, but can he... The gaps are starting to tumble at the back as they are really trying to get a little bit of a grip on their tyres, which is really it is trying to find your rhythm. It's trying to find your feet. As we got Renegade, MK Born, Archie, Meta. They are going in to the pits as well. So, where are they going to come out ahead of Scott then? Scott is going to come across the line. He comes out ahead of them quite considerably at the moment. It is the battle of the pit crew. Banana Time has just put some tyres on. Renegade comes out. Who's Renegade behind? It's Archie as well. It really is a battle for the pit crew here. Archie is definitely going to be under pressure now. It's a battle of who can get the run, who has the straight line speed. Renegade is going to challenge for Archie for a move right now, but backs out of it. I think what they're going to do is they're going to try and warm up their tyres a little bit more first before they can start challenging for moves. Maybe try the outside now, maybe. No, not quite. So Renegade in 6th and Archie in 5th place. Rinky Morrison, Ollie pit then. So Rinky, I think, is going on similar tyres as well. Quite a lot of people going for similar strategies here today, so I think you have known as well. So if you are hyped for this, then I know you are, Rinky Morrison. So there comes Scott, here comes Archie, here comes Renegade. MK Born jumps. Actually, no, he doesn't actually. The timings on my screen have, I think, pretty much changed. Yeah, it has changed. So that is Rinky Morris in P2 on your screens at the moment, as Renegade's going to come back for lost time because he's got MK Born that's going to be potentially on newer tyres. So he's going to, I think, he's going to have a lot more grip for the final pit stop. So he is, I think, going to be a dark horse. And I've just noticed one of their sponsors on the ILRGT livery is GoDaddy, which is very interesting there. A very interesting choice, I must admit. But there we go. Now, let's see. We could potentially see a battle for P2 coming, because Archie is pushing then for P2 again. Renegade as well. And MK Bourne can also catalyse it. But look at Scott. Look at Scott. Scott still 6 seconds. So he's still managing to keep that advantage he had before the pit stops, which is crucial. So good job for him. Meanwhile, let's look at the back of the field. Ciappellini in 11th. He's 40 for 1 second behind the leader. 10 seconds behind Carl. 3 seconds ahead of Pete, though. Now, the good thing we saw in the Le Mans race on Monday night was we saw a scrap between the two speed teammates of Pete and Rye Racer. Unfortunately, we're not going to get much for a battle here, as Rye Racer's 27 seconds down the road. So they might have had an incident somewhere, but not entirely sure about that. So Scott, he's got, I think he's about, oh, Scotland made a little bit of a mistake there, but I think he encountered some traffic there. Ricky Morris getting a penalty. Would he choose to slow down? To be honest, he doesn't really want to slow down, because otherwise he's going to have Archie really catching up to him like a hawk, and you don't really want that to happen at this early stages. Again, let us know your thoughts in the chat. We still got around about 7 rounds left of this really intense championship, so hope you've been enjoying it so far. Rinky Morris 1.5 seconds clear of Archie, so will Archie find the grit? Renegade 2.1 behind Archie. MK Bourne 3.7 seconds behind Renegade. So where is Janul out of all of this? Janul is in 6th. It could be a potential battle brewing between Janul and Metzer then. Metzer's finding some ground, surely. He's putting on some really good pace. I will need to double check how I find fastest laps here, but the fastest lap so far is still set by Scott. He has matched his pole time quite considerably because he was able to have some very clean air as well, which does help really. Let's see what happens with Metzer then. Going into turn 3. Potential move here. He almost went for an ambitious move there. That would have been very ambitious. You can see Scott already pulling away in the background. That just goes to show how fast he is. Meanwhile, going as far as the championship is concerned, we got a potential move. Metzer going around the inside to hold on to his move. Only just though, you could really gain a potential for the speed as well with these cars. Also, as well as this tier, ILRGT2, there's also the top tier that's being broadcasted. So if you want to check that out side by side, please feel free for some more ILRGT action as well. Or you can watch it back afterwards. It's entirely up to you. As you know, he's really got to get a comeback here, because otherwise it could cost him dear. Let's go on board with Janelle, actually. Oh, that was a huge mistake. Where is Ollie then? Can Ollie take advantage? Not quite. But Ollie has gained time on Janelle. Janelle is 3.2 seconds. So that was a bit of a shame for Janelle making that mistake. But again, that was a little bit too close for comfort, I must say, for Janelle. So Ollie stays where he is for now. Rinky Morris, penalty. Still down to about a 5/10 of a second, but he's starting to fall away ever so slightly from Archie, but 2.5 seconds a gap. If it stays like it is now, they might have a similar encounter when they get to the pit stops, I think. That's my reckoning anyway. Which I really hope happened. And potentially have Renegade in the mix as well. They could have similar pit strategies. MK Bourne still doing well in 5th. He doesn't have any penalties to his name at this stage, so he's keeping calm, he's keeping collected at the moment, and he just wants to keep it steady. So halfway through this Grand Prix almost, Scott still leads, but the gap is coming down. Rinky Morris is flying. A 1:12.8 from Rinky Morris. He's letting the pass behind him, and he wants to win today. And he is going full guns a-blazing here in Austria, and we could potentially see a battle between Scott and Rinky. I swear the gap was 6 seconds. Now it's gone down to half that, 3.4. Rinky Morris got P3 at Dragon Trail. Rinky Morris got the win in last week in Ultropolis, so he's hungry for the win today. Could he go even faster? That is the question. I don't know. I don't know what Archie's lap times, but Archie lap times are looking pretty good as well. Oh, we do see someone off the circuit, or they could be on the pit lane. Oh, that's Janul. That is Janul, who is in the pit lane. He goes for his next stop. He's going for the soft, so I presume that, I think that is gonna, yeah, that is gonna go to the end, I think, for Janul. I think he's got Rye Racer potentially. Nope, he's got Scott. He's being lapped again. I thought they were going to get involved in a battle there, but obviously not. That is going to allow Rinky to seriously catch up if Scott is going to get held up around this traffic. So he's got a lot of working to do, but knowing Rinky Morris, he's got the pace. He really does have a chance to potentially get the move done. So it is doable for the main man. Now it's 3.3. So Scott is starting to realise, right, I've got Rinky Morris right behind, and I need to start pushing, because otherwise he's seriously going to catch up to me. I think that's what he's thinking right now in his head. I think I said head wrong, but oh well. Welcome to the West Country accent. Well, I can't really tell if it's a West Country accent or not, but we shall see anyway. Scott still leads, Rinky second, Archie third, Renegade fourth. We potentially have about for 6th and 7th, maybe. Actually, no, there's another lapped car, which I do believe is probably one of the Speed Boys, I believe, based on the type of livery that they have. So let's just go jump into them. I think because Speed Boy Racer, he really needs to put, I think he's struggling a little bit, but he still have time. I have faith in him. I have faith in Rye Racer, really. I do believe there's no damage in these cars. So if they spin, but it won't do their tyres any good. So what is going to happen to Ollie then? Ollie's about 11 seconds behind. There's not really much battles. Usually, usually towards the middle of this Grand Prix, in Super Formula especially, that is where we tend to see less things happening, which is really normal. So do not worry if you were expecting this, because, you know, it's what happens sometimes. As Rinky, what is the gap come down to? Oh, Rinky's got Archie breathing down his neck at the moment, so it's going to be absolutely tight for Rinky. Archie he's closing as well, and he's got Ginoda's lapped as well, but they're not going to worry about him at the moment. Let's see where Archie is now. He's in within 2 car lengths at the moment. It is going to be ever so close. If Rinky doesn't put a foot down, Archie may have this in the back, but Rinky is starting to respond. So that is good for him. We're starting to see blue flags as well. Let's see the run into turn 1. Going a bit wide once again, but luckily he's keeping it steady. Scott, I think Scott has lapped yet another car. So I think only a few amount of cars are on the lead lap at the moment, as far as I'm aware. On lap 21 of 35. Here it is. Oh, Carl's left. Carl's left. What has happened to Carl? He's probably suffered a really bad disconnection, which is not going to help him whatsoever here. He has died. Maybe his controller has disappeared on the face of the earth or something like that. But there we go. He is gone. It looked really strong. It looked really strong for iRacer there, but unfortunately it just hasn't quite worked out for that car. But Rinky Morris is the first to jump, so he's not going to have Archie shining for the pit stops this time. No, actually before that was Archie and Renegade. So here comes Rinky Morris then. Super softs till the end of this Grand Prix. It is going to be absolutely tight to make that to the end, but you never know. We shall have to wait and see. Here comes Rinky Morris, here he goes. He's going to have more advantage because he's pitting before his main rivals, which is really ideal for Rinky Morris. Oh, we got spinning. We got someone spinning into the turn 2. That is iRacer. If he's not careful, he's going to get disqualified. And we don't really want that from iRacer. Meanwhile, his teammate not doing too bad in P11. So he's doing quite good. He's catching up to Janor quite quickly as well. So, and Pete's going into the pits at the moment. Renegade is going to the pits. This time Archie stays out. Scott is going to stay out as well. So I think these two have decided to stretch it out, which could really answer, I think, the long game on what's happening. I think it could answer it, to be honest. But you never know. So Scott, Archie, Scott almost, but I think all three of them have gone ahead of, well, Rinky's gone ahead of Renegade. Chapalili comes ahead of MK Bourne. Now that, actually no, did Chapalili pit? I don't really know, I've lost track of time here, but Ollie didn't do too bad as well. As we got some more battles potentially coming up as well. We got MK Bourne potentially being challenged by Ollie Flavel. Scott and Archie then They are going to be diving into the pits. Where are they going to come in relation to Rinky Morris? We'll have to find out, but we got 12 laps to go of this really, really insane session. It's just incredible. Scott's in, Archie's in. Here comes Rinky Morris going towards the final corner in the BP style livery. Where does Scott come ahead? He is ahead. And Archie is ahead as well. So Scott and Archie staying out for an extra lap has really benefited them. So maybe a little bit of a mistake from Rinky Morris. We'll have to wait and see. But meanwhile, let's jump back to Ollie and MK Bourne once again as on the charge, but this time MK Bourne is potentially going to go for a move on Shapalili potentially as well. So here we go, down the straight here. Can MK Bourne go for the move he wants? Now, MK Bourne last week, I'm just going to look. MK Bourne didn't race last week. He finished 10th in the first race though. So he's looking for a much better result here. He was one of the other drivers actually that also raced in Le Mans on Friday. On Friday? What are you talking about? On Monday. Why did I say Friday? Probably because I commentate on another league on Friday, which is about to come to an end, which is very sad. But anyway, Ollie is going around the final corner again. Ollie and MK Bourne taking similar lines, so I don't think any of them has gained advantage at this stage. So Ollie Flabel, I think Ollie Flabel's less close to what MK Bourne is to Shapalili. MK Bourne looks on the outside. Oh, he's gone wide a little bit there. Ollie is definitely caught up now. So where's Ollie then? Ollie's going to get the slipstream that he desperately needs here. But doesn't quite do it. And Ollie has a little bit of a spin as well. So we're starting to see more people make mistakes here. We've got about 12-15 minutes left to go of the session then. 10 more laps to go. And Scott still leads from Archie. The gap is now 4.4 seconds. So he's doing all he can right now. And he is doing it. He's trying to push. But he knows he's got Rinky right behind him as well. Shapalili in the pits then for his final stop. I do believe that will be his final stop, as I think he's the final person to go. There is Carriage cheering for Shapalili in the chat. Good to see a few people in the chat as well. Let us know who you think to do well as well. Where is Shapalili going to come out in relation to Janul? Now Janul is getting lapped again by Scott, so I think a few of these guys are around about 2 laps down, which just goes to show the variety of pace in this tier. I think, yeah, Shapalili is in 9th, comfortably in 9th by 16.8 seconds. So, well timed pit stop from Shapalili. Where is Archie compared to Scott? He is not gaining the time and that he needs at the moment to possibly challenge for the win. He really needs to gain the time because he's got some laps traffic behind him and ahead of him, so because he could have Rinky Morris up on his tail as well. Because Rinky Morris could be catching up like a hawk as well if he's not careful. So he really needs to watch out. But meanwhile, Ollie What a beautiful move from Ollie there. Side by side again. MK Ball challenges for the switchback. And he gets a switchback, but what a move into turn 3 from Ollie. But he's going to have another look once again around the inside. He does it. Oh no, he made a massive mistake. He's in the gravel. I think that was my first commentator's curse of the stream. And I don't like it whatsoever. I am known for jinxing so much on the ILR channel. And this is one of them, so. Oh well. So Ollie stays in sit for now. That's going to put MK Bourne under less pressure as well. So that almost turned out to a potentially really nice battle. But it's just a shame it ended the way it did. But there we go. That's what happens in racing as well. Renegade then. Renegade's past Rinky, so Rinky might have made a mistake there, or maybe Renegade jumped him, I don't know, but Renegade is pulling up some very good pace here. To be honest, I like the look of Renegade's tyres. They do look pretty cool, not gonna lie. To be honest, they do look pretty decent, which is impressive. So he's dropped it a bit. So he's dropped it down to 5. So we are starting to see tyres really starting to die as they get towards the end with 5 laps to go now. I think it's Scott's really to win now. He is in control for pretty much all this Grand Prix so far, which is absolutely amazing. It's good to see him doing really well. Scott still 5.8 seconds though to Archie. Renegade 5.3 to Rinky. So yeah, we're pretty much just start to see the order not really change that much, which is pretty normal, I gotta say. If you're liking the content from ILR, don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you know when you will see a stream next. We've got the final F1 2018 races in ILR this week, which is going to be sad. It will be in Brazil. I'm racing there tomorrow. My final race of F1 2018. So I really want to give it out anything I got ready tomorrow. But enough about that. We still got 5 more laps of racing. Let us know also what's been your favourite bit of the stream so far as well. And if you're watching this back, hello, lovely people. And I don't think Evil is going to join me for the last 5 laps. I have been cellaring for pretty much all of that race. But oh well, so to be honest, it's been quite fun. I was expecting some more action for these drivers, but unfortunately we didn't get as many action as we thought we would. But that's what happens at times. It's down to the nature of the cars and the different amount of strategies that you get here in the Super Formula cars. And I wonder if any of you guys have ever tried the Super Formula cars on this game, because I have, and it is very good. But I tried it both on a pad and I tried it on a wheel as well in this game, and majority of times it ends up me going into a wall. So, you know, I might put a video on my channel actually of how you can go on this track on the Super Formula. Probably on a pad just to make it for the lols. But that should be fun. So, at the moment, we have got an all-British 1, 2, 3 disturbing the Dutch's home. One of the Dutch's home Grand Prix. Obviously, in Formula 1 in 2020, it is going to have a Dutch Grand Prix, which I'm really happy about. I hope it brings it in Super Formula as well, because that'll be amazing. So, pretty much, it's going to be, you know, tight towards the end. Scott is coming across traffic. Let's just see what's happening at the back. Not much change there. Banana's time. He's having a lonely race, but still in ninth, and that is not bad going for him. So he's under less pressure at the moment. But I think everyone from, ninth downwards is lapped, I believe, or eighth. I can't do maths. I was predicted to be in a GCSE maths, so I only ended up getting a C. I was gutted. I know I passed it almost 8 years ago, but I wanted that B so bad, and I almost cried that I didn't get a B in maths. But hey ho, you live and you learn. And I thought I wasn't going to do maths at my job, and I do maths at my job, which is a bit annoying, really. But that phase 3 then, Scott still leads again, still encountering a bit of traffic as well. So I think if he stays like it is, he is going to be very comfortably to take the race win. Now, since Blizzard moved up to Tier 1, technically Scott won the first race. So he's got 2 second places. And could this be his first win of the season? We'll have to wait and see. 2 more laps to go then. Yeah, there's pretty much not much battles going on at the moment, I think. No. Not really, isn't it? So as long as they don't have any controller issues or wheel issues, depending on what they use for the event, then it should be fine. Fingers crossed for the drivers. Now next week should be an interesting track, because we're at Nürburgring next week. I think that will probably be very intense for the drivers, which I'm looking forward to. We could, I thought we weren't going to get a battle, but actually we are going to get a potential good battle. Thank you, Jesus. It is between Metzer and Shapalili. Metzer must have made a mistake somewhere, because we have got Shapalili breathing down the neck at the moment. Look at this. Oh no, Metzer, what's happened? Metzer's gone off. He's struggling. If he's not careful, Banana Time is going to catch up pretty soon as well. And that's not what you want. Oh no, Metzer. He's almost gone into the wall. Yep, he is starting to make more mistakes, and I think that his tyre is completely gone. And we are starting the final lap of ILRGT2. Scott leading. Archie, 1.7 seconds. He's pushing, but is it too little, too late for Archie? I don't know, really, to be honest. Anything can happen. Scott could make a mistake. I'll have to wait and see as Scott goes through the downhill section of turn 7 and 8. got to keep concentrating, make sure he doesn't go wide or anything. Oh, Metza's gone. So Metza, I think, is giving up, I think. But Scott comes across the line. Scott wins the third round of ILRGT2 with Archie in P2 keeping it close there. And Renegade is going to come across the line as well and take third place. Chapelet takes 7th. Banana Time takes 8th place. And what could it be for Rinky? He was challenging for the win at one point. But he still gets some good points anyway in P4. Here comes Archie then, 5th. And MK Born in 6th. Chapelet 7th. Banana Time 8th. Pete is going to come across the line in 9th. He's got Janor for company as well. Oh, they hit the wall almost, but that was close. There we go. Here is your results then. That was your results, but it didn't pop up quick enough. But here's your celebrations. Scott has done it. He's got 2 P2s. Now he's turned that into a win. So, I'm just going to say well done to everyone in the chat. Because I'm a nice person, but there we go. So, thank you guys so much for watching ILRGT tonight. We'll be back next week, same time, around about quarter to 10-7 for Nürburgring. It is hotting up in the championship now. Rinky Morris and Scott pretty much even now, with Renegade not far behind as well. If you want some more ILR action, we've got some more races tomorrow, Friday and Sunday. So make sure you do check. And when we just realised there's 2 Scots in top 3. Paul would like that if he was watching the stream. But yeah, we go. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm your Jess Games 95. We will see you same time next week for some more ILRGT action. Good night.